जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय राधा शरद बिहारी राधे राधे। Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोलो शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, welcome once again. So that today's topic will be sacrifice to obtain God's love. Wonderful flyer, very nice. So this month is the month of festivals, right? We were discussing on Friday also in Reading. So many festivals. As per Vedic calendar, what is the name of the month? Shravan, right? And we started the festival celebration with Jhulan Yatra, Shri Balram, Appearance Day. Now Janmashtami is coming up. Radhashtami will be coming up. So when we celebrate these festivals and these occasions, the special appearances and disappearances days, in a proper mood, then they can help us in uplifting our Krishna consciousness, our devotional mood. So we were sharing that story in Friday program in Reading. That it's a true story. What happened in London? There is a famous street called as Oxford Street. Everyone remember who was there on Friday? That street, devotees were doing Harinam Sankirtan. And one of the devotee, he saw a nightclub on the same street. And then, incidentally, he used to be the life member of that nightclub in the previous, his life, so-called previous life. And he started getting, he started recalling all the memories. He used to go to that nightclub, what used to happen inside, and all the fun he used to have. And he kept on be the part of the Sankirtan team, and they started moving, and he kept on looking back. And suddenly, he hit the lamppost very hardly. Almost his tooth came out. And next day, the same devotee had to give the class in Bhakti Manor temple. So he was still going through that trauma of hitting the lamppost, and he started sharing his experience, his realizations. So he said, whenever we are marching ahead, going forward in our devotional life, never look back. Accident will happen. So it's a very important statement, because what happens, in spite of coming into devotional life, trying to follow all the practices, we keep on getting attracted to our old tendencies, right? Because if I talk about myself, we are still not purified. And it happens all the time. Initially, 2-3 years, we will follow all the sadhana, we'll leave everything, tea, coffee, everything very, very, enthusiastically. And then, again the attractions start happening. So now to resist these temptations, what we need? Inner strength, right? So that was the importance of Sri Balram, Appearance Day that we discussed, and Prabhuji gave a very nice class on the glorification of Balram, Sri Balram on Thursday also. So we need the spiritual strength, the inner strength to resist these temptations. Now, to build this inner strength, we need to serve. Whoever is our object of serving, we need to serve that object. Now, Srila Prabhupada, very famous statement, right? If you love dog, if you serve dog, you will serve dog. If you will love, you will love Krishna, you will, if you will serve Krishna, you will love Krishna, right? So serving is very much attached to love. Now, but when we talk about serving, what happens? As practicing devotees, what we are supposed to do, we need to serve Krishna for the satisfaction of Krishna. And if we talk about what does sacrifice mean? Sacrifice means to give something which is of interest to us for the higher cause. Otherwise, it's not a sacrifice, right? It should hurt us, it should give some pain to us. So, for example, as Krishna conscious, I should say sadhak, like we are trying to become devotees, we sing in Tulsi prayer also. What is our higher objective? What is the prayer we do in Tulsi prayer? Radha Krishna Seva Pao Yei Abhilashi. Very high objective, right? So, if we understand the importance of that objective, then it can motivate us to sacrifice something, to give up something which is of our interest, but not in the interest of devotional life. So, in Sanskrit, what does sacrifice mean? It also means tyag, renunciation, and it leads to renunciation, vairagya. Now, so when we talk about sacrifice, automatically renunciation and austerity comes into picture, right? Without renunciation and austerity, no value of sacrifice. So, the important thing about sacrifice is that it has to be done voluntarily. It happens voluntarily. Now, when does it happen voluntarily? Initially, when we come into Krishna consciousness or we start our devotional life, we have to follow sadhana bhakti, the process of sadhana bhakti. Some rules and regulations, chant so many rounds, follow these rules and regulations. Certain do's and don'ts are there, right? And we have to give up voluntarily to follow those rules and regulations, right? And sacrifice can happen through our mind, body, or through our possessions, right? 3 ways to sacrifice. And it has to be done in all the 3 ways, right? So just like Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur sings, Manas Deho Geho Jo Kishimor, Arpit Tuvi Pade Nanda Kishore. So mind, body and family, whatever is I consider mine, I renounce for you, Shri Krishna. That is his prayer. Now, we are talking about sacrificing for Krishna, but Krishna is fully satisfied in himself. Atmaram, right? He doesn't need anything from us. So, what is the benefit of sacrificing then? He doesn't need anything from us. The benefit is that we are doing it for our sake because we are trying to revive our lost relationship with Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said, we have to reawaken our dormant love for Krishna. Now, initially, when we start following the sadhana bhakti, it happens forcefully, right? It happens forcefully, and we force our mind and body. We stretch ourselves if we are sincere. And this sacrifice is the way to express our love for Krishna. And slowly when we start sacrificing for Krishna, we put Krishna on the priority, then what happens? Krishna also starts reciprocating. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathe bhajami ham. That to the degree we put Krishna into priority, our devotional life into priority, Krishna also starts reciprocate. And then we start advancing in devotional life. Now at this stage what happens? At least some of the sacrifices which were hurting us before, they start happening naturally, automatically. We don't even think about those pains and hurts. Right? Just like the classical example is how the mother sacrifices for the baby, newborn baby. Doesn't hurt her. She experiences all those pains, but she really doesn't feel that pain. She automatically, naturally, organically, she is serving the newborn baby, right? And because, what is the reason? Everything in her life, both parents, it becomes centered around the baby. So when we truly put Krishna into center, right, these so-called sacrifices will become very natural to us. They will not create any problem for us. Now, the question may come, why we need to worry about getting Krishna's love? Any answers? Weren't we happy with our so many attachments, so many activities we were doing before also? Why we need to worry about obtaining Krishna love? The topic is to obtain Krishna love, we need to sacrifice. And any answer? We all know the answers. No answer could be wrong. Krishna's eternal love. Okay. Good answer. Anyone else?
Giving back what the Lord has given us in devotional service.
Right. All answers are good, right? So the idea is that the reason we came into bhakti, or most of us at least, that although we had so many attachments, loving relationship also before, but we kind of realized they were not fulfilling our heart. At some point or the other, that full happiness was not coming through those relationships, right? We have, no matter what we do, no matter how much we serve people in this world, they will never be satisfied. They cannot reciprocate to the degree we want them to, right? And that's the nature of the material world. Similarly, they might be expecting something from us, and we might not be able to fulfill. So that full satisfaction was not there. But when we come into Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees, and we start developing this loving relationship, it all starts with loving relationship with devotees. So when we say sacrifice for Krishna, anything we talk about Krishna includes Krishna and his devotees. Without that, we cannot really experience, because Krishna is far, far, far from us. The way to Krishna is through devotees, right? So, as practicing devotees, our practice should start with devotees. We first start sacrificing, serving devotees, and slowly, we get spiritual master. Again, spiritual master is not without devotees. So just spiritual master, serving spiritual master is not enough. Again, devotees, spiritual master, and then hopefully, with our sincerity, we can learn how to love Krishna and serve Krishna. Now, when we talk about relationship in this world, there are various kind of relationship, right? Child-parent relationship, husband-wife relationship, master-servant, like our employee or employer relationship, friends, all those relationships. And when we think about sacrifice in those relationships, it kind of gives us little negative impression that why should I sacrifice for others? Because sacrifice means my loss. I'm giving something to others, right? So, and that will always come to us. Even when we are still not matured, I'm talking about myself in the devotional life also, although we are performing devotional service, in the back of the mind, what is in it for me is always there, because we come with that conditioning, right? So we can say this relationships are the most complex thing in this world, very complex. And it's very challenging to develop loving relationship. That's why it's an austerity. big austerity. Hmm? And if we think that we always think someone will else come to me and love me or make a loving relationship with me. Never happens. It all starts from us. We have to start serving others. And sometimes we think if someone is just nice to me, he is in loving relationship with me. That is also a mistake devotees do. Because if someone is nice to us, our tendency becomes to just take and take from that person. But unless we reciprocate more than what he is giving, that loving relationship will never happen. Now, the problem with this relationship in this world is expectations. Others have expectations from us, and we have expectations from them, right? Now, children have expectations from parents. Parents, like Srila Prabhupada said, the closest true love we can see, pure love we can see in this world is love of mother. She doesn't have any expectation from the child. But still, we can see that is close to purest, not pure. Still some expectations are there, right? And children have expectations from their parents. Friends have expectations from each other, right? And master servant, again, expectations from each other. So the point is that Srila Prabhupada said, no matter what relationship we have in this world, it is always troublesome. And in every relationship, what we are doing, we are serving. No matter what relationship we are in, we are always serving someone. And a real relationship happens when we start going out of our way to serve the person, right? For example, we know Srila Prabhupada, how much he sacrificed for us, for the whole world actually. And I also heard that initially when Srila Prabhupada used to speak the classes, devotees used to say, we are understanding nothing. We couldn't understand his accent, we couldn't understand his English. It was very hard to understand him. Only thing we could see, the love and sacrifice he was doing for us. That's why he is Acharya. By actions he showed. And then slowly and slowly devotees got connected to Srila Prabhupada. And they got connected to him to the degree that on his one order, they could do anything. No question asked. They could give their life for Srila Prabhupada. Even today, we see those devotees are there. And they could go to any place in the world on just one order. The whole new territory, whether it's UK, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, China, any country they could go and start preaching. It's not that easy. We can't even preach to the next person in our neighbor. Very, very hard, right? But by seeing the sacrifice and love Srila Prabhupada showed, they start getting that strength through Srila Prabhupada. Now, someone once asked Srila Prabhupada, you say that everything is in the scriptures, everything is there. So what about the technology? Is there any mention of technology in the scriptures? So although we all know in the Vedas there is a lot of things are mentioned about the modern technology also, but Srila Prabhupada answered very simply. There is description of technology about how to access love of Krishna that can solve all our relationship problems. Beautiful answer, right? And that way, Srila Prabhupada answered that person. At the same time, we know if we see the Vedic scriptures, everything about modern technology is also mentioned. A lot of inventions were done using that, those scriptures also. Now, when we talk about love for Krishna and obtaining the love of Krishna, Krishna already loves us, don't he? Because that's why he created this material world, this whole creation. We turned away from Krishna, but out of his love, he gave us all the facility. Because we wanted to lord it over the nature. Go have fun. He gave us everything. He made all the arrangements for us. In this rain, food, everything is there, right? So point is that he already loves us. The problem is we are not able to access that love. We have created lot of boundaries, lot of obstructions around us. And what is the sign of Krishna loving us? He still sends his representatives all the time to claim us back, to bring us back to spiritual world. He sends to us the devotees, spiritual masters. Hmm? He sends us to us devotees who can explain to us this scripture of devotion and come back to him. This is the biggest sign, right? So, when we talk about Krishna's love, service and sacrifice, we can say that service is the foundation of all relationship, all loving relationship, and the result of that service is that we automatically start sacrificing ourselves, our time, our wealth, whatever possessions we have, we start sacrificing. Now, the conclusion could be that if we want to love someone, we have to sacrifice. Okay, I'm circling around the same point. Now, when we talk about love, again coming back to repeating that same point, the nature of love in this material world is, how love is expressed in this material world. We are talking about the pure love. It's very hard to find pure love, right? It is expressed in the form of lust in this material world, right? Because when we talk about relationship in love, it is all you scratch my back, I scratch you back, right? There are expectations. So Srila Prabhupada said, lust is as different from love as gold from iron. So love is gold, like gold, and lust is like iron. So totally perverted way of seeing the love. Now, when we talk about loving Krishna, and when we talk about comparing it with the form of love we see in this world, lust, Srila Prabhupada mentions in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the desire to gratify one's own senses is lust. But to desire to please the senses of Lord Krishna is prem. Simple. How can we transform lust into prem? By transforming our desire to satisfy our senses from that, to serve Krishna, to serve the senses of Krishna, to please the senses of Krishna. Now, we hear all the time that gopis or brajvasis, they had no inclination for their own enjoyments. Only thing they wanted was Krishna's pleasure. And we also hear that in the process of pleasing Krishna, they used to get pleasure. Now, how to understand that? So, Srila Prabhupada mentions, because the joy of gopis lie in the joy of, so we have to align our joys, our desires with Krishna and devotees, both Krishna and devotees. Then only we can experience that love. And when we align our joy, our desires with Krishna's desires and devotees' desires, then only we can relate to them in loving relationship. So there is a nice verse in the scriptures, tat sukh sukhitvam, tat dukh dukhitvam, iti prema lakshanam. What is the symptom of true love? The object whom we want to love, his or her sukha, his or her pleasure is my pleasure, and his or her distress is my distress. So it is completely aligning our desires with the object of love. Now, there is a nice pastime that comes for this, understanding this is, once in Dwarka, Lord Krishna created a drama, as usual. So what he did, he started complaining that I am having a very, very acute stomach ache. And so everybody, all the queens, they started serving Krishna, and they tried to give him medicines. And Krishna, he said, the only solution is that if somebody can bring the dust of the devotee, of my devotee, and put it on my head, this pain will go away. So when Krishna does the drama, it is the highest level of drama. And so now he asked Queen Rukmani to, bring, because she's a great devotee of Lord Krishna also. She refused. Why she refused? She said, I cannot be part of this sin. This is a great sin to put our dust on the lotus, on the head of Krishna. So all the queens, all the 16,000 queens, they refused. Then the news reached to Braj. And as soon as the news reached there, all the gopis, Radharani, they just filled the bags of, dust, whatever was lying there, and they sent to Dwarka. So the idea is that they didn't care about the sins of, putting our dust. They didn't care about it. Some of the people in Braj, they also told them, gopis, what are you doing? You will get great sins, you will go to hell. They didn't even consider anything about that. No thought. It didn't even register to them. They just sent bags and bags of dust and sent to Dwarka. So that is what? That's Sukhitvam. Also we see in the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, he asked Prahlad Maharaj, ask me some boon, ask me something. And Prahlad Maharaj refused, that I'm not a merchant. I'm not doing your devotion to get something. Instead of suffering so much, if we see the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, he suffered a lot. We can't even, can't go through even one of those experiences. He was put into a hole with snakes. He was thrown from the mountains, and he was thrown in between the animals. So much torture he went through. Still, he had all the love for Lord Nrsimhadev. So, similarly, he says, it's a nice thing that comes in Bhagavatam, O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need for being anything, there is no need for our being anything other than master and servant. That's the only relationship we have. We don't want to become merchant and, we don't want to trade. I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. So very much fixed in the devotion. Similarly, a pastime comes of Shripad Madhavendra Puri when he excavated Gopalji's Vigraha. Then he was ordered by Lord to bring Chandan from South India. In spite of his old age, personally he was ordered that you should go and bring the Chandan. And he traveled all the way from North India to South India. And the whole that path was filled with dacoits, thieves, Muslim rulers, very dangerous. But intense love for Krishna that he has in his heart, that motivated him to go and perform this service. So the point is, the devotee does not consider personal inconveniences when he starts serving. No impediments can stop devotees in his service. Now, that doesn't mean that it will happen overnight. We cannot imitate these great personalities. So what we have to do? Step by step, right? We should not take too much of pressure or devotional service also. At the same time, if we are sincere, then step and step we should have a plan. How can I achieve this, right? We cannot be we cannot go like, okay, tomorrow I will become a pure devotee. That will not happen, right? So, now, when we talk about the process to achieve this kind of love, we can see the live example of our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. How much how much suffering, how much sacrifice he went through, right? Very practical example. Uh, he left the comfort of very comfortable life in Vrindavan actually, right? He was having very comfortable devotional life there. Hmm? And but just to execute the order of his spiritual master, uh, he came to US, the Western world, using cargo ship, not even the normal passenger ship. Hmm? He went through massive heart attacks. Hmm? He had no money, practically no money, no support system, nobody to help him um, in his mission at that time. Even when he got some place to live in New York, he had to go to, I think, 3 or 4 blocks every day. Every time he has to go to restroom. The old man, 70 years old man, you can think about it. He has to stay in the line for bathroom. Even when some few people started following him, they had no idea that what kind of respect to give to him. He used to be in the queue with those devotees. No. And he was treated like an ordinary person. But he tolerated everything. Why? Because he had that love for Krishna, that love for his spiritual master. He wanted to establish that mission that he was given the order for. And what is that mission of Krishna? To spread the glories of Krishna all over the world, to spread his name. To be specific, what was the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of the Lord? That everywhere, every town and village, my name will be chanted. That was the mission Srila Prabhupada wanted to accomplish. So this, even actually there is a very nice story that I heard told by His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj. When he was about 30, 35 years old, he was into the movement of Srila Prabhupada. And he was given somebody filed a lawsuit against ISKCON for some incident happened. So he was given that in charge of taking care of the lawyer, hiring a lawyer and giving him all the information, everything. So that lawyer was old man, about 65, 70 in the old age. And he said to His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj that since I have to fight this case, I have to understand what this organization is about. So give me each and every book that Srila Prabhupada has written. I want to study them so that I can fight this case in the right context. And literally he read each and every book. And after a few months, when he was done with that, whatever books were ready at that time, he read it. He came to His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj and he said, do you even know what your spiritual master has done? So he said, of course, I'm his disciple, his follower, I know what he has done. No, you have no idea what he has done. Again, Shivram Swami Maharaj said, how come you're saying I don't know? I know everything. He said, no, you have no idea because I am 60-year-old. And your Swami is more than 70-year-old. In this age, it is miracle, more than a miracle. Nobody can do this. Nobody can go through this hardship. Nobody can do it. Very, very difficult. So the idea is that when I'm saying even I don't think I'm realizing what Srila Prabhupada has done. I'm narrating like a parrot. But when we will realize this, what Srila Prabhupada has done, when we will hear more and more about him, what he has done, and we'll go through his purports in the books he has written, then we can realize what miracle he has done, slowly and slowly, right? And most importantly, when we start serving his mission, then we can realize his glories, what he has done. I know even today, it's so difficult for me to go to the next door and, invite them for the program. Not easy. So the point is that this has been already given to us. This society has been given to us, right? This movement has been given to us. And this mission of Krishna, we have to just support and assist. We don't have to create anything new, right? So, and this is a very nice picture I found, how Srila Prabhupada, when he came, he was fully supported by all the energies of Krishna. Hmm? In spite of the heart attacks and all the sufferings, all the hardships he went through. Okay, so coming back to the sacrifice, there is a very nice pastime. I was talking to Padnath Prabhu and we were discussing this pastime. Srila Loknath Das Goswami, he sacrificed his desire for the mission of the Lord. Very nice, very sweet pastime. So Srila Loknath Goswami, he is one of the Goswamis in our Gaudiya Parampara, and he renounced his home because he wanted to associate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back, and he renounced his home, everything, and came to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he expressed the desire that he wanted to serve him, to be with him. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told him that what his desire is. He said that I want you to go to Vrindavan and help and assist the other Goswamis in excavating the places of pastimes of Lord Krishna and Radha. And now Loknath Das Goswami, he totally got very shattered that my desire was something else. Now I'm being given a different direction. But then he realized what is true love, what is true love for his spiritual master, for the Lord, that this is an opportunity where I can put my desires in the back foot and follow the desire of my Lord. So in spite of distress and sadness, he agreed to the desires of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of course went to Vrindavan to help assist whatever order was given to him. So the point is that when we love somebody or when we are trying to love Krishna or devotees, we have to put their desires on top of our desires. So the service should be done with the mood of what is more pleasurable to the Krishna and devotees, not what is more pleasing to me. Now, the verse Srila Rupa Goswami mentions about this is anukulasya sankalpa and pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is pleasing to Lord, what is very favorable in the devotional service, that we have to follow, and whatever is not favorable to Krishna and devotees, we have to abandon. Simple, very simple formula. Not hard to understand, but very hard to practice. Very, very hard to practice. Now, when we talk about loving Krishna, we say loving Krishna comes with a whole package. Loving his devotees and his paraphernalia. Everything related to Krishna, we have to start respecting and love. Now, what to sacrifice? We are talking about sacrifice. What to sacrifice? Any answers? Yes, Mataji. Our attachments, okay. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu. Time, yeah, very practical. Time, money, practical points. Yes, right. Yes, attachments to what? Our senses. Whatever our sense. For example, when we are following this sadhana bhakti, or when we are following this path of bhakti, the most important thing we have to do is chant our rounds, right? This is the most important and most priority work that we have to do in the day, right? I'm preaching to myself also. I'm trying to follow that. Now, what we have to do when we chant? The instruction given is chant early in the morning. Chant early in the morning. Is that easy? No. So we have to abandon our attachment to our sleep, right? We have to mold our schedule in a way where we can wake up early. So we have to sacrifice our sleep for that, our attachment to sleep late. Now, for example, this is not a new concept for us though. If somebody wants to excel in sport, or if somebody is also want to excel in their jobs, they have to follow particular discipline, right? If somebody wants to excel in sport, he has to go through certain discipline, sacrifices, and routine work that his coach is giving to the person, that sport person, right? Similarly, the same concept is here in bhakti also. And we have to sacrifice attachments, time, and we have to sacrifice our tendencies to lord it over the nature. The conditioning we come with is, I'm the master. In the back of our mind, we are always masters. And we have to sacrifice our false ego. These are the subtle things first we have to sacrifice. False ego, lord it over the nature tendency, pride, our opinions, our egos, our desires. Now, how will that happen? How can we abandon these desires? Of course, chanting is helping us, but our chanting is not pure. So that's why we have to get engaged in some practical active service. Now, when we start serving with devotees, all these tendencies will be attacked. All of us must have experienced that. When we serve with devotees, our ego will be challenged, our desires will be challenged, our pride will be challenged, our opinions, our belief system will be challenged. So when we start serving lovingly with devotees, slowly and slowly, we start making compromises with these anarthas. And if we are sincere, getting good guidance, our hearing is very strong, our chanting is getting strong, hopefully, then slowly and slowly, these anarthas, it may take years before, it's not an overnight process. Because sometimes devotees expect, as soon as I come to ISKCON temple, life is very rosy. We all know that it's not that rosy. It is rosy as long as we are serving nicely with devotees, right? So the point is that service with alone is also not very fruitful. Serving along with devotees is going to transform us. Because we get a support system. When we are getting attacked by these anarthas, some devotees will definitely come and hold us. He will, and very directly or indirectly, they will take care of us. It's a very, very beautiful process. Okay, so how much time we have now? 15 minutes more. Okay, maybe I will cover a few more points and then we can open it for more comments and any questions anyone has. So what is the result of sacrifice? When we sacrifice, what do we get? We get the love of the person whom we sacrifice for. Very simple, right? As long as the sacrifice is in the mood of bhakti. Because sacrifice can also happen in different modes. Right? We know 3 modes. What are the 3 modes of nature? Ignorance, passion, goodness. So sacrifice can also happen in 3 modes. So we have to be aware of that. In what mood, we have to become conscious of that. So if we are in the mood of ignorance, of course we will not sacrifice anything. We will only want others to sacrifice. In the mood of passion, there is always a tendency to get something out of that, our act of sacrifice. In the mode of goodness, still there is some expectations, but those expectations are not in terms of fame or recognition or some kind of monetary or very tangible benefits. The expectation is in the form of that I will make the other person happy. That is the mode of goodness. Above that is the mode of bhakti. In the mode of bhakti, the only thing we want to get is the love of Krishna and devotees. Very high state. So at least we can start from the mode of goodness. At least we check ourselves and slowly, slowly move towards the mode of bhakti. Now, the point is that the living entity, as a living entity, we are not desireless. The theory that we have to become desireless, no desires, is not Vaishnava philosophy. Then we will become like a table, chair, wood. We always have some desires. So no matter what we are doing, there will always be some desire. The only thing is, we have to be careful is what those desires are centered around. That's why Srila Prabhupada always said, dovetail your tendencies. You cannot be desireless. You have to change your desire. You have to change your desires to center them around Krishna. Now, when we desire, there is a nice point is, are we desiring the dirt or the sweet? Meaning, are we desiring for fame, recognition, or getting some prestige out of our sacrifices that everybody should, know me, what I am doing, or are we want to taste the sweetness of the love of Krishna and devotees? So that we have to be aware of. Another result, when the Lord is pleased with us, with our sacrifices, our efforts, God Himself will do everything and anything to maintain us, our devotion. He will even be ready to get defeated by us. Of course, that in the loving sense. For example, how Bhishma Dev, his life was full of sacrifice. He sacrificed all his life for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. And in the end, what happened? Krishna himself came in his end time. And in the Bhishma Stuti, Bhishma Dev himself says that you broke your own promise to protect my desire, my promise. What promise Bhishma took? That I will either kill Arjun or I will make Krishna fight in the battle, right? And to protect his devotees' promise, Krishna himself broke his promise. So that is the loving exchange they had, because Bhishma was totally surrendered to Krishna. Similarly, we can see how Pandavas were surrendered. So we can go and go on. The whole Bhagavatam is filled with how devotees sacrifice for Krishna, and we can go on that. And another great example of sacrifice, when the Samudra Manthan Leela happened, the pastime of churning the ocean, what came out first? Lot of poison, halahal. And the greatest devotee of Krishna, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu, who is that? Lord Shiva. What he did? He did the service of drinking that poison, right? And he got glorified. So much glorification he got. On the other hand, Rahu, he drank nectar, but his head was cut by Vishnu. What was the difference? Lord Shiva served selflessly. He drank poison because when the demigods went to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, that how to take care of this poison, Lord Vishnu said, go to Lord Shiva, he will take care of it. So to please Lord Vishnu, to serve him selflessly, to protect the whole creation, Lord Shiva did that service. On the other hand, Rahu wanted to become himself very, very powerful and immortal. So he was selfish. So his head was cut by Lord Vishnu. So that's why the selfless sacrifices always will be pleased by Lord Krishna. So I will stop here, and any questions, any comments we can take up. We have so many senior devotees here. They can help me answer the questions also. But any corrections, anything, whatever I have presented is based on what I have understood from Srila Prabhupada and his followers. But of course, when I deliver, there might be some mistakes. Any mistakes, please correct me. And if any comments, please add. Any questions we can ask. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. The question is, Lord will get pleased when we serve devotees, but when we serve people who are not devotees, will it also please Lord? Yes. So every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna, Lord, right? So, of course, as a practicing devotee, we start with devotees, but we don't distinguish between anyone. The highest stage of devotion is that we don't distinguish between anybody, whether they are devotees or non-devotees. right? Because in the highest consciousness, everybody is part and parcel, everybody is child of Lord. Hmm? But practically, can we do that, right? When we are, as a practicing devotee, what we start? We start with our society. We start with whoever is around us, right? And then, as our consciousness will expand, we will see Lord in everybody in that manner. Hmm? But definitely, if we are serving as a charity work, and slowly, slowly, it will definitely uplift us. Krishna will definitely be pleased. It doesn't mean that if we are devotee, doesn't mean that we don't serve or we treat others outside who are so-called non-devotees. We don't even know whether they are non-devotees or not, if devotees or not, right? They might be devotees also. We don't know. But the point is that it doesn't mean that we differentiate between, anyone outside our devotee circle. We definitely should serve them also. And that is the biggest service actually. By serving them, by seeing our service nature, our behavior, they might come to the path of devotion also. So that might even become a big service. So definitely yes. When we talk about serving, whether they are devotees or non-devotees, in our mind, we should serve everybody. Any additions? Anyone would like to do that to that question or answer?
That was a nice question. As you were answering, I was remembering a class that we just heard last week, and Mother Gita was mentioning that because we are not, because we are conditioned souls, we are not able to differentiate, how to treat everyone equally.
Yeah.
So we can't, we don't have that compassion personified within us. Only Prabhupada has it. So if we start differentiating, then we make offenses.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada said that. So it's very important that we treat everybody equally. So because we are also a preaching organization, so we preach and we share anyone and everyone without differentiation.
Right.
She mentioned that. I wanted to share that from last week's class, how important it is that Srila Prabhupada can do it because he can see you. He's the pure devotee of the Lord. We are very conditioned.
Right.
So we preach and we bring, and if not, then we make offenses. Prabhupada never makes offenses. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, bro. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, Prabhu, actually, thank you for very nice class.
All
Good
good,
points.
Shri
Thank you so
Prabhupada.
much for actually touching on this point of sacrifice. And sorry, I'm multitasking here. I apologize. You mentioned a point in the class where you said, we should put the desires of others before us. And we know that that is easier said than done, because the mind is such a rascal, and the ego is always trying to hoot our pride. How can we practically, practical tips of how can we put others' desires before ours?
So first of all, very good question, very practical question. I will try to answer that. I'm also struggling. I'm trying. So few things that I understand we can do or we should do is making sure what is our goal. Why are we in this process of bhakti? If we wanted to put our desire first, then I should go back to my old life, right? So if the goal is not clear, so we need somebody to remind us of our goal all the time. So we need that, coach, that mentor, who can directly or indirectly keep on reminding us of our goal. And that's why the importance of spiritual master comes. Whether he is Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, who somehow he will pull you in. As soon as he will see that you are going off the track, I will not say it is his job, but that's what he does. He will pull you back somehow, without even we knowing sometimes. So that is one thing, making sure we know and realize what is our goal, why we came into this process of devotion. And goal is very, very high. So the price will be high also. Srila Prabhupada says, you get what you pay for. That's what he says. And that is true. In the material world also, we only get what we pay for. So I think that is a short answer. And apart from that, association of such devotees who are following that process very sincerely and who can inspire us. They are selflessly serving others. You have to find such devotees. That is very important. Without that association, impossible. So that's why those two things I think is very important, unless somebody else wants to add anything. Making sure goal, every morning we should be aware of our goal. What is my priority to achieve this goal? And second thing is association of such devotees who can help us achieve that goal. I hope that helps. Anything else, Prabhu, you would like to add? Padma Prabhu. Yeah.
No, I think you pretty much touched. We need to have somebody to guide us.
In the bottom.
So
You got to push the button and hold it facing.
Okay, thank you. So Prabhu, it's very important, just like you pointed out, that we need to have somebody in our life where, because everybody has so many different desires, right, when you serve devotees. Sometimes serving their desires might take you to a wrong area also. And sometimes serving their desires will uplift you. So, when you face those kind of dilemmas, then you need to surrender to your spiritual master or your Shiksha Guru or somebody and ask them, I said, Prabhuji, I'm in a dilemma, how can I serve
Yes.
this person? Sometimes, giving them tough love is also important. So, I think you touched all the points. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so if no other questions, no other comments, maybe we can conclude here. Thank you, everyone. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivashadi Go Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivashadi Go Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivashadi Go Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Baba Tumi. 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 O Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Baba Tumi. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaura Premanande, Jaya Om Vishnupan Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Satta Shishya Maharaj Divine Grace Rishi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Om Vishnupan Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Satta Shishya Maharaj Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi Ki. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki. ISKCON founder Charge Shri Prabhupada Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shiva Shari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Dham Ki. Mathura Dham Ki. Navadvip Dham Ki. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Jagannath Swami Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Jamuna Mai Ki. Tulsi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladalaranayine. Hiranya Hiranyakasipo Vaksha Sila Sankana Kalai Ito Nasingo Parato Nasingo Yato Yato Yami Tato Nasingo Vaye Nasingo Hidaye Nasingo Vaye Nasingo Hidaye Nasingo Narasingaradim Saranam Papadim Tavakala Kamala Varinakam Adbhuta Singha Dalita Hiranyakasipo Tano Bringam Keshavarita Nararirupa Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Nasingade, Jaya Nasingade, Nasingade, Jaya Nasingade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Narasingha Prahlad Maharaj, Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Singha Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Gaur Premanandi.
breathe, so give me like 2 seconds. This Friday is one of our biggest festivals, Janmashtami. And we are looking forward to expect more devotees. You know, it's 2 years of COVID that we've had a hiatus, now we're coming back. So we hoping that we'll get more devotees. It's one of our biggest festivals. It's we are starting at 7 o'clock. So we request devotees to please do come out, join in the bhajans, join in the kirtan, join in the abhishek, join in the festivities, and participate till midnight so that we can see the Lord in his new outfit once he takes a wonderful, wonderful cooling bath in this hot summer. So please do join us this Friday. And there's always services that is always needed. So if you would like to extend, if you're able to help in any service, please do see me. And we can definitely discuss on the services. Chapan Bhog is still available. You know, whenever you plan for something, Krishna has a different plan. So a few days ago, we had 30 preps. Now we're up to 80, thanks to Meera. So it's going to be above Chapan Bhog. So we're just 28 dishes off to make it 108. So if we have some brave hearts here who would like to add to the Chapan Bhog, you know, and it's very, you know, I meant to put this post, but I didn't get a chance to. But it was very inspiring for me personally to actually see men signing up for Chapan Bhog. Seriously. I am so inspired because I've always seen Matajis, and I said, okay, I thought we are not the body but the spirit soul, so what happened to the cooking? But then when I see the men signing up, I was like, yes, now we're living Bhagavad Gita. No I, no me, no mine. So thank you so much for setting the example for other men to sign up. Even if you can do one prep, it'll be really, really a wonderful offering to Lord Krishna. So please, we're just 28 short of 108. Pretty small numbers. If we can do it, let's rock it and let's make a nice offering for Lord Krishna. The next, and if you need to add more any questions, please do see Mathura Mataji. She's downstairs in the kitchen, so she'll definitely fill you in with any questions you have. We have the Chapan Bhog containers. That's in the Prasadam hall, so please do collect it if you do not have yours with you already. The very next day, Saturday, is Shil Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja Ki. One of my favorite festivals. It's a 4:30 program, so please do come out. It's we normally have Pushpanjali, we have a lecture by Shil Prabhupada, we have sharings, we have offerings, and we cook all of Shil Prabhupada's favorites. And yes, he's Bengali, so we're going to try to make it as Bengali as possible. So please do come out. It's a 4:30 evening program. And the more we have, the merrier, like we've been sharing in our past announcements. If it was not for Shri Prabhupada, we would not be here today. We would not have Janmashtami. We would not have the holy name. Yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. The list goes on. It's all because of Prabhupada, as Krishna was sharing in his class, who came at the age of 70. And no one at the age of 70 can do what he did. I am pretty, if I can say boldly, I don't think there's any 70-year-old man in this current age that can do what Prabhupada did since 1965. None. So he's definitely the ambassador sent by the Lord. So let's come out on Saturday for Shri Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. And Sunday we have our Kirtan Mela with the children. Sorry, with the young youth. And again, it's because of Shri Prabhupada. Everything is linked to Prabhupada. Even chanting of the holy name, even the Kirtan, even the Mahamantra, everything is tied to Prabhupada. So please do join us for chanting on Sunday at 4:30 same time. The week after that, August 27th, is our family picnic. And that will be in Adventures Park really good chill time before the kids go back to school. Some may have already gone to school, but then, but still, it's a nice time to just chill and relax. So please do join us for that. September 3rd is Radhastami. Another special festival. Please, it's a Saturday program at 4:30. So please do come out and join us. We will share more details about that program on e-bulletin. September 5th is the weekend is actually the Kipona Festival in downtown Harrisburg, and we have been approached to hold a book table again. So we are going to be having it on September 5th, the Monday. I just got an email from them, so I need to find out the time. But they have agreed for us to have a book table. So when the book table goes out, the Harinam team goes out. No, that's so weak. That's thank you. I promised you there's prasadam downstairs. So please, let's gear up, get fired up to support the book team and the Harinam team on September 5th. But that does not mean there's no temple program September 4th. There is. So, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So please, another fun-filled weekend of, coming together. We've heard so much about devotional service this afternoon's class. We've heard so much about Sadhu Sangha in this afternoon's class. Perfect time to grab the opportunity so we can all come together. Now, many of you, I don't know if you have been approached or you have been asked, but Naveen Prabhu and Dr. Josh has been gearing up the men for the men's mantra retreat. Today is the last day for the discounted rate. After that, I don't know what the rate is going to be. Goes up $20. So the $20 does count in this age of gas prices, in this age of groceries. I just went yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, I'm paying extra $20. But anyway, yeah, so the $20 does count. So if you're able to go, and I highly recommend all the men to go. It's a wonderful time to hear from really senior devotees in ISKCON, proper disciples. Bhakti Mark Swami will be there. Our GBC will be there. Vaisheshika Prabhu will be there. There's going to be a lot of senior proper disciples. Because, like we were sharing, like I was sharing with one devotee, we don't know how long they're going to be around. We don't know, We take it for granted, but we really don't know. So, while we can, I think Debbie spoke of sacrifice. Perfect. While we can sacrifice our own selfish desires and needs and wants and fill our hearts with spiritual thoughts, spiritual association, spiritual knowledge, wonderful time. Because I don't know about you all, but every week I actually hear of at least one proper disciple leaving the world planet. At least one a week. They're up there in age. The movement started 55 years ago. And now they're all in the 70 to 82. So, yeah, they're close to kicking the bucket. So we want to really take advantage of the association. Hear a lot. So please, if you have any questions about that, please do see Naveen and Josh. They're trying to gather a caravan of devotees so that everybody can travel together, stop on the way. He's got some ideas. So talk to Naveen, but please, I really encourage you. So far, I think we've had 4 or 5 devotees signed up, so we want to really get a few more. So we really request you guys to join that. And I'm sure the women can take a break from their spouses and and the boys, just a break, can do some little quiet time. We can have our own program in the temple on that day, so we'll rock it. So while the guys are out there. So again, any questions? The registration is open online. It came online last week. So please, if you don't know the website, please come see me or Naveen and we'll share the website with you. But do register. It's September 9th through the 11th. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So please do join. Please do sign up if you can. And the last announcement is Bhadra Purnima is coming up on September 10th. And if anyone is interested in either getting a Bhagavatam set, we've heard so much of beautiful pastimes from this afternoon's class. If anyone is interested in getting a Bhagavatam set, or would like to sponsor someone that you know who don't have it and will really appreciate it, it's a wonderful or give it as a gift to someone that you know. So please do see them. And again, we'll be putting it out in our e-bulletin. And I want to share a quick pastime, and then we'll end with this. As yesterday, my daughter and I were going to Sam's Club, doing the shopping for home and temple. And I heard someone calling from behind, Madam, Madam. And I looked around and I said, I don't know this man. And he says, I've been looking for you. And I'm like, oh God, what crime did I do? Someone said, we're looking for you. Like, what did you do, right? He says, I have to give you something. I said, okay. I don't know. He said he's come to the temple before. I don't remember seeing him. Vaguely, but I remember the person that he mentioned that came with him. And Krishna is amazing. He says, I've been trying to come to the temple to give you something. And he gave me a check for $501. Out of talk about Krishna, right? I'm busy going grocery shopping for the temple, and I get a check. I'm like, Krishna, and then I was remembering how we are so fallen, conditioned souls that we are not elevated at all to hear from the Lord, but the Lord speaks through His devotees, gives through His devotees, whether it's good or not good, But He gave me, and of course, I didn't have my glasses, so I just thanked Him, took His email address, so on and so forth. It was just last night I opened and I said, Hare Krishna 501, unexpected gift. So that's how the Lord works. Magic. He's full of magic. So I wanted to share this pastime because it really, really made me think more and more and more. My guru used to always tell us, the more you put yourself out, the more the Lord will reciprocate. Sacrifice. The more you put yourself out, the more the Lord will reciprocate. So that was a very nice pastime that happened yesterday. So I want to share this little incident that happened at Sam's Club. So thank you all for joining, and Haribol. And we will have Prasadam. Please do see the deities and have Prasadam. And until this Friday, yes. Philadelphia Rath Yatra was the last Saturday in September. So please do mark your calendars. In fact, Philly Rath is what ends the Rath Yatra season on the East Coast. So please do join us.